to Starr Soaps channel. How are you today? I'm doing good. My name's Crystal Starr, in case you didn't know me, and I'm the Queen Soaper here at Starr Soaps. That's right, I do it all. I do all the Queen level work and all the grunt level work too. But that's okay. I make all the soap, I make all the videos, label them all, come up with all the concepts. It's all Starr. So today I'm going to be making man soap. That's right, because men need pampering too, right? And I'm going to be making this beautiful bar today, and it's a bit unique. We have some really unique toppers here. They're made out of eucalyptus leaves, and I used a little tiny craft stamper to stamp out the wee stars. Cool, eh? Because, you know, I still want to have a cool star on my soap, even if it is for men. It's scented in black tie, which smells really nice, so your man will smell really good. And it's made with activated charcoal, which is really good and detoxifying for your skin. So if you'd like to learn how to make this soap, then come along with me and I'll show you how I do it. Squee! So we've brought our soap to a lovely light trace, and we're using our normal beautiful recipe with goat's milk in there. It's a really lovely simple soap for the guys, so we're just using black and white to colour it. We're not going to get fancy and use any crazy bright colours, and we're using titanium dioxide and activated charcoal as our colourants, which we had mixed and dispersed into distilled water in each jug. So I'm going to make sure that I've got those colours really thoroughly mixed by first just mixing with the spoons and then coming back with my immersion or stick blender and making sure that it's really incorporated, and then I can separate them back out into bigger jugs, and I'll do that so that I can get a nice equal portion of each colour and so that I can pour easily into my moulds. I'm using a fragrance called Black Tie, which is really well behaved and doesn't discolour. It has a very fresh and clean scent, and as I mentioned at the beginning, it smells really good. It is technically a man scent, but women seem to love it as well, and it's just one of those really nice fresh clean scents that leaves you feeling really lovely. So I'm going to go ahead now and use the stick blender to make sure those colours are really well mixed through before I go ahead and pour into the mould. I am soaping during the winter, and that means that my soap is staying at a very thin and watery consistency for a long time, which gives me a lot of time to play around. So I'm not going to bother using my dividers and attempting to do the black and white side by side that I often do I often use that design for this man soap, but not this time. This time I'm simply going to go for a drop swirl, because when you've got really, really thin soap like this, a drop swirl can look super amazing, and it's really simple to achieve and really effective in the final soap. So I'm kind of excited about that. I've mixed the white and poured it back into the bigger jug, and now I'll do the same for the black, and then it will be time to pour into the molds. With our molds filled up, it's time to give the top a little bit of a swirl. And then I've got a really cool and unique thing to sprinkle all over the top of these soaps. I recently watched a little video on my Instagram that showed a way to make nature-friendly, eco-friendly confetti. And it was to just take dried leaves and a hole punch, and you can make confetti that is totally natural and safe. So I took my dried eucalyptus leaves and my star-shaped hole puncher and punched a whole bunch of little eucalyptus stars and sprinkled them all over the top of this batch of man soap. And I think that it looks really cool. What you do want to do, if you're ever going to put any kind of petals or anything like that on the top of your soap, is make sure you lie the loaf on its side whenever it comes time to cut it, so you don't get any drag marks in your final bars from the soap cutter pulling those petals or leaves down into your soap. So it has sat for 2 whole days. It took extra long to get hard, and now it is time for us to cut it into bars. And just as I mentioned just now, I'm going to lie the loaf on its side to cut it so that I don't get any drag marks from those beautiful stars on the top of each bar. I absolutely love how these soaps turned out. They have an amazing detailed swirl in each bar, and they're all different, and that's simply from doing a drop swirl at a very thin trace. So keep that in mind because it looks really stunning. I do hope that you enjoyed watching me make this batch of man soap as much as I enjoyed making it. These last few soaps that I've been making were all ordered, and that is such a good feeling not to just be making soaps because I wanted to, because I do, but also because other people want me to. So that's a really wonderful feeling and deserves a super squee. Squee! Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!